Hello and good morning, I think. Anyhow, for me at least, it's good morning. Um, and I do apologize. I'm a little bit late because this week has been quite the fun time. Now I know that all of my view is a little bit off, my video part, but you know what? That's okay because everything here is just fine. I want this to be a zone for freedom and for peace. And this month, the month of February, is really strong about freedoms and being aware of disabilities, of discriminations, of all sorts of things. Mm, and that's what I wanted to come and talk about today, is actually about those challenges that we have with dealing with living life in disabilities, being bullied, being challenged, journaling about it. And these last 3 weeks, I've discussed journaling. And so this last week in particular, I've had a daily situation going on. First of all, I got enrolled into this thing called the 90-day sprint, meant to get us to get out and to share the word and everything else. And something didn't sit right. It just wasn't feeling right at all. And so the leader of this sprint, she caught on and she said, "Sweetie, this is a little more advanced than you. We need to take you back and start again in a different program." Because it was more my speed. I mean, when you have disabilities, sometimes being aware of them is so important. And that's really a lot of where my point is today. Because the reality is that sometimes our challenges in life are not recognized. We're put through every single thing and said, "It's your responsibility. It's your issue. You have to deal with it." And there's an element of truth to that. There really is. And I do apologize for my distractions there. I had to put it on Do Not Disturb. So the whole thing is that as I went through this, I was saying that there were some things I was really confused about. I've learned to be open and honest about this. Now, as this progressed, I did go into the alternate thing, and then I learned about mindset, and I realized something really crucial here. And this is why journaling is so important, is because you make self-discoveries for yourself, obviously. So I've mentioned about being bullied in school, to the point. Now, I don't know if I shared this before, but it was to the point I wanted to give up on life. I wanted to just finish life and be done with it. And it made me, and the bullying was so bad. It wasn't just the students. You would think it would be, but it wasn't. To be honest, it was the teachers and my dad. My mom would always be so supportive, but not the rest of them. To the point I felt less than dirt. I felt so, I was like, what's the point? And I loved entertainment. I loved to entertain people in every aspect, theater, drama, television, local cable, song, dance, creations. I even did creative functions and so on. And I get more into that in a moment here. So when I found out how my dad didn't approve, and the irony was that I felt most important was for his approval, because I had my mom's approval. That was easy. But to get my dad's approval, that was work. That was a very difficult situation, to the point my mindset, my mind was like, whatever it takes, do whatever it takes, bow down to him, give him whatever he wants. What I didn't realize at the time was I didn't belong in society in his eyes. Now, I don't know about you if you felt that you didn't belong in society, but for me, I didn't belong in society. So in my mindset, it was like anything. Now, at that time, he was also doing a paper route. My family, something, I can't say my family, my mom and my dad, something they instilled in me at a very young age in my formative years. Now, don't let this get to you, but in your teen years, those are the most formative years. And I'm not talking teen physically. I'm talking teen mentally. Because physically, you can be in your 20s, you can be up there, and you can still mentally be in your teens. And you'll be reacting, and you'll take in things, and those are still formative years. So my strength became business, strong business ethic, and I gained this through my mom and my dad and the way that they did their businesses. So I knew that I wanted to run a business at a very young age, but I also knew that I wanted to be an actress at a very young age. So I didn't know how the two of them intertwined, but I knew it was rough. Through all of this, though, something that my mother also did teach, and my dad didn't care one way or the other, I was still at a point of wanting to give up in life. I was ready to give up, literally. But my mother took me to church. Church took me to the Bible. The Bible took me to God. And there I had an intimate conversation. And at that point in time, it became the most valuable, most important piece, because by that time I knew that I had something going on. I knew my health was not, I knew my mental health was not good. I didn't know why. I just knew that no matter how much I tried, I knew that I wasn't functioning right. I knew that I was having to work so many more times harder than the rest of the group to be able to get the same amount done. So through all of this learning, I also learned that women need to submit to their men. Women cannot women have to submit, and they have to respect, and they have to all these about women in the Bible times and So I added more labels mentally on this than were already mentally put there by my dad, by the school, that I was worth less than the rest. I was mental. I was not worth, so it was really going through my head, a lot of this. And it ended up leading me into a life, into a journey that would forever change my life. And that's why I desire women in particular. I desire to help them to find their true potential, their true identity, find their true strengths, their true life purpose, and the true work that is in depth, in deep, the desire to come out and to put a shine on. Now, through all of the process that I had to go through, I ended up with something called fibromyalgia, which brings me back to what happened this week. I was tested for RA, or rheumatoid arthritis. They did not find rheumatoid arthritis at all, which kind of surprised me. But what they did find was osteoarthritis, or OA, which is not nearly as bad. It's also not autoimmune. So the more I'm looking at this fibromyalgia thing, the more I'm realizing that I do believe that it's brought on by stress and triggers in my situation. Now, I don't know if you've watched my past videos, but not every situation is the same. No, it's not. A lot of them have autoimmune involved, but that's not always the case. So I want to stress to the biggest extent that, yeah, so what? So we have fibromyalgia, but learning what really makes us shine, what really makes the life worth getting up every day for and moving, that's my ultimate goal, my ultimate purpose, my ultimate desire. Because we all have a calling, we all have a strength, we all have a work, we all have a desire, we all have a purpose. As long as we are breathing, we still have something left to do on this earth. Until our last breath, we have something to do. End of story. And that's what this week has been. It's been a lot of self-healing, a lot of self-discovery, brought a lot of joy, and it's really helped me to understand that the disability that I have been feeling so strongly, the ADHD, the PTSD, so what? What really internally gets to me to light up and to help others? Well, one, my ex got away with a lot of money. He was abusive and he's a rapist. But you know what? That doesn't define me. It's helping me to move forward, to share with others, to encourage others, particularly to women, that you might be able to find your inner strength and make something of it. To find what makes you sing. And that may actually be singing, but it might be crafting, it might be creating, it might be doing some other forms of work. And that's what I desire to do, is to help women to find what makes them sing and makes them able to live a low to no pain life and be able to make an income all at the same time. Is it easy? No, but it's so possible if you're open to it. But you've got to be open to it. Now, am I stuck with only women, to work only with women? No, I've actually worked with men too. But the whole point is that there's no reason to allow fibromyalgia to hurt you. And that's the whole point of journaling. Writing it out, you can actually discover so much about yourself that you might be in so much shock. Now, I do apologize. This week has been a little bit chaotic with a snowstorm that hit Wednesday night, and I ended up hurting myself really bad. I fell and I literally knocked the breath out of myself and bruised up my leg. But you know what? I'm still here live on Sunday at 8 o'clock and proud to say it. And I will be here next week. Until next week, take care.